Hey y'all, Iric Guy here. Welcome back to another live show, and we're going to dive right in here. So if you're watching this, please share with others, and share on your Twitter, share on your Facebook. If you are part of one of the big news media agencies, please feel free to let me know if you want me to be a live guest on one of your streams. I've got live streaming equipment, so I could join you by Skype, by way of Skype, a bunch of different things. But before we hop right in here, let me go ahead and share this. This is a very spur-of-the-moment live show, and we're going to explain why here in a minute. Let me go ahead and get this shared out to my social media. Again, I encourage you to share it to your social media so that it'll help me bring in more viewers. I think this is going to be a very exciting conversation. So without further ado, I'm sharing right now. Let's see. I'm going to pop her out on Twitter. There goes Twitter. And by the way, you can chat in the chat. This is a live show, so I'll be able to respond to your questions. And if you want a super chat, that's even more appreciated. You can click that little super chat icon down in the chat area. Not required, but appreciated if you do. And let's see, I'm going to share this to Pinterest. Here we go here, Pinterest. Just want to make sure I've got the visibility, you know what I mean? So, okay. Let me get back to our chat. Adam says, I love this. Are we talking stocks? Yeah, and again, I want to preface this. Everything within this video, that includes the comments, everything is for entertainment purposes only. Nothing, nada, nothing should be considered a recommendation to buy or sell a security. All of this is for entertainment purposes only. With that being said, let's talk about the first form of entertainment here. So I track my analytics. This is my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Iric Guy, where you're watching this video. And I track my analytics daily. This YouTube is one of my many business ventures. So it's super important for me to track my analytics. So when I was tracking my analytics, I discovered a video that I had posted, and actually I've got it linked. You can expand this video's description and find the link there. But I posted a video in 2011, and let me get the exact title of that video for y'all here. Let's see, I'm popping it up right now. Sorry, I'd be a little bit more organized, but this just came at me like spur of the moment. I mean, this was huge and unexpected, and I want to take advantage of it here. So let's see here. Let me go to Cellar-Boxed. So I posted a video, and the link's in this video's description, but I'm going to post it within the chat, the live chat as well. But I posted this video 9/12/2011. That's September the 12th of the year 2011. So a long time ago. And here's the link to that video. Apologize, got a head cold, but since we're on a little video thing here, I'm not contagious by way of video. Don't worry about it. So that's the link to the video. And it was entitled, What Does Cellar-Boxed Mean? Stock Market Terminology. So let me preface this by saying that I've always had a fascination with the stock market. And again, I started investing in stocks when I was mowing grass, weed eating, a few $100 here, a few $100 there. That was back in the day when your brick and mortar broker, that was the only way to place a stock trade. You had to go to a physical stockbroker, a brick and mortar building, and buy and or sell that stock. So completely different animal. That's when I became interested in the stock market. I was mowing grass. I'm like, yeah, these are pennies. Making pennies. Pushing a lawnmower. How can I take that lawn mowing money and turn it into something better? So that's how I initially became obsessed with the stock market. Was mowing grass and be like, hey man, I want to get a Rolex or something like that, and make something of myself, so I decided that it's easy. It's not easy, but it's one that has a certain degree of risk tolerance. They might potentially be able to take a few $100 and turn it in potentially into a few thousand, a few 100,000, a few million. I mean, you never know. The sky's the limit. But again, expect to lose it all, because that's probably what's going to happen, man. Expect to lose it all. And, and part of my journey with the stock market was me as an individual, me determining, okay, what is Darren? Welcome aboard, Darren. Welcome aboard, everyone. Got a lot of people in this audience today. But part of that risk tolerance was, for me, it was part of the thrill, because the way that I justified it, again, always expected to lose it all, but the way I justified it was that, if I take this money, if I take these, Nick, welcome aboard, sir. Welcome aboard. If I take this lawn mowing money, which is insignificant, when you look at the financial world as a whole, I mean, somebody that's, making some money mowing grass, Fly Right Jones, welcome aboard. It's not really that much in comparison to someone that's, say, a hedge fund manager or something like that. But, to be able to get from the entry level type business, taking a few $100 and potentially converting those few $100 into thousands and hundreds of thousands, how can one do that? Well, they got to have risk tolerance. And that's, for me, the initial part of this journey was gauging, what is my risk tolerance? Okay, if I lost, let's say it was $250, what would happen to me if I lost that $250? And if I didn't take that $250 and speculate with stocks, what might I spend that $250 on? And, at that point in time, Jonas, Plate, hey, I have a few questions regarding your video from 2011. How come you knew about Cellar-Boxing back then? Do you believe that AMC, GME are targets currently for this Cellar-Boxing? Okay, now let me preface my response with number one, I don't talk about in specific stock ticker symbols. And again, all my comments are for entertainment purposes only. This should not be considered a recommendation to buy or sell a security. I'm hosting this for entertainment purposes only. But to answer the questions that I can, it says, how come you knew about Cellar-Boxing back then? Actually, it's very easy. I started my stock market career, as I mentioned earlier. I started my stock market career as a lawn mowing professional. I would mow grass, and then I would take those earnings and I would go down to my brick and mortar broker. I would go to my brick and mortar broker and invest those earnings into stocks. And I'm not going to talk about the specific stocks, but that was back, prior to the internet. So, we didn't have online brokerages. So, you can see how long ago that was. So that's how I started the journey. Now, at that point in time, I was only really familiar with the big boards, the NASDAQ, the American Stock Exchange, the New York Stock Exchange. You flip on your popular news network at the time, and you would see that little ticker scrolling at the bottom. Those were the big board stocks that I was interested in at an early age. And when I say early age, I mean, teenager, 12, 13 years old. I started young. So that education, that self-education of learning how to trade, learning how to develop how to gauge and train myself to adhere to a certain very rigid risk tolerance enabled me to graduate to something better. And that graduation was OTC markets, over-the-counter bulletin board. So for everyone out there that's watching this, that's not familiar with the over-the-counter bulletin board markets, the OTCB, what is that and what does it mean? Well, so the over-the-counter bulletin boards, those stocks historically have been less regulated than the big boards. The big boards are typically what you see on the big financial news networks, that ticker at the bottom of the screen. So I became involved, became very obsessed with over-the-counter bulletin board stocks, and I took, a certain portion, and again, what I was comfortable with risking, but I took that small percentage of my risk tolerance and said, you know what, I'm going to go to the penny stock casino. I'm going to find the bottom of the barrel. I'm going to play with the pink sheets. Now, if you're not familiar with pink sheets are the lowest tier of the over-the-counter bulletin board. So you got your big board stocks, your New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, American Stock Exchange, etc. Then underneath that, you've got your OTC markets, your over-the-counter bulletin board. At the top tier of the over-the-counter bulletin board, a lot of those more top tier, the over-the-counter bulletin board markets have several different tiers. So you've got the top. Most of those are more they report more. And then you get to the bottom, the pink sheets. It's like, those companies could potentially, those shells could potentially be dark for months, if not years. And the fascination there, and Jonas, to get back to your question, how come you knew about the cellar-boxing back then? To answer your question, in my infancy of exploring the over-the-counter markets, to be more specific, the pink sheets, the bottom of the barrel, the scummiest of scummy stocks. When I started to look at those, in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, this stock is 0001.0001 price per share. It's like, man, not factoring in commission, but for $100, I could get 1 million shares, man. This could make me rich. That was the mentality I had with penny stocks, and I would accumulate. It's like, okay, well, it's just $100. Again, everybody's got their own risk tolerance, but it's like, it's just $100. Man, I can take this $200 and I can go down the street and get a good steak and get a good dessert and, maybe get a bottle of some good booze or something, or some decent booze. Or I could take that $100 and speculatively throw it somewhere that potentially might, again, forward-looking statements, you never know what's going to happen. You're probably going to lose it all. So, be prepared for that. But potentially I could take that moderate amount of cash, put it somewhere where it could potentially become something great. And that experimentation led me into the sewers of the OTC markets. Just that really, you got to crawl through all that junk just to figure stuff out. So, I'm sitting there, I'm a sewer rat. I'm a sewer rat, and I'm exploring these penny stocks. Nick says, just posted this stream to Reddit. Hopefully you get a lot more people. Oh, I'm gonna blow the didgeridoo to celebrate that. Hold on. We are going to celebrate. That is huge, and I encourage everyone to share this everywhere. This is to celebrate Nick. He just posted this stream to Reddit. Hopefully you get a lot more people jumping in. Yes, sir. Okay. So, back to the, get my didgeridoo here. So back to the Anonymous. You got to let us know if you ever hit it big with one of your original penny stock plays. We're gonna carry on this series. So, Nick says, I'm from Australia. How fitting. Dude, I honestly had no idea, but that is cool. Yeah, that is cool. I've had this thing. You can check out my penny stock video. I've had didgeridoo videos for probably about the same amount of time. Okay, so back to the penny stock stuff. So basically, yeah, it came from Reddit. Everybody from Reddit. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's get this stream cranking. And everybody that's got there, again, it is not required. But if you want to support my live stream, this live stream, and hopefully I'll have some future live streams, you can click that super chat button within the chat area, and you can choose to support this live stream. And the more super chats I get, the longer I'll stay on this live stream today. So this is fantastic. So yeah, back to the penny stock. So, like I was saying, let me put this didgeridoo. I don't want to drop it on the floor. I'm going to put it over here. I'll be right back. Yeah, so, as I mentioned before I got the didgeridoo, I was like a sewer rat. Just crawling through the sewer, the scum of the OTC markets. The bottom of the barrel, the pink sheets, the scummiest of the scummy stocks. So, shifting back to Jonas's question, how come you knew about cellar-boxing back then? I didn't know about it. Well, I knew about it shortly before 2011, but when I really just challenged myself to really better understand the OTC markets, and again, I would never encourage anyone to start exploring the OTC markets until you at least feel that you have a functional understanding of the big boards. Your NASDAQ, your New York Stock Exchange, your American Stock Exchange. Because the penny stocks, the OTC markets, that volatility, I mean, these things can move potentially thousands of percent in just a few minutes. So, yeah. So what was I trying to do? You know, why did I land upon this cellar-boxing thing in 2011? And Reggie, welcome aboard, sir. And I'm glad you found it. Everyone out there, I encourage you, share this stream with others. Share it on your social media. Feel free to super chat, support my channel if you want to. You can find that super chat link within the chat area. But yeah, so you know, the cellar-boxing thing, it was okay. So I had positions in multiple 000 price per share companies, and as a newbie, excuse me, I'm recovering from a cold, but I'm not going to let that hamper this live stream here. So, excuse me, hold on. So I let the accumulation of shares that I had. Irish guy is trending now. Yes, sir. Oh man, this sleeper video from 2011. So I let. I hate to do this on the. I've got to go pull my nose, man. I will be right back. I promise you, I'll be right back. Okay. I am back. Sorry, I just had to take care of that. That's not fair for y'all. Yeah, Paulie, I'm going to get to the point. I've just had a cough, had this. So the whole thing was, why did I have millions of shares of various companies, but they didn't really seem to. Yeah, Anonymous, he will be right back getting cough. I just went there and blew my nose with some toilet paper because I don't even have like tissues. I just got some toilet paper, man. So I did that, and you know, I'm like, why do I have these stagnant penny stocks? You know, I bought it potentially 5, 10, 15, 4 or 5 years, and you know, previously. And they didn't move. You know, they would just stick there. Jefferson, yes, sir. Jefferson Jesus, welcome. So why do they just sit there? And it's like, okay, well, I've sat on this for a few months. I've sat on it for a few years. And then I'm like, okay, I'm just going to get rid of it and get something else. And then that's when I discovered, oh, you can't get rid of something that is 0001 on the ask. And why is that? Because basically it's Cellar-Boxed. I mean, you can't, there's no bid. You know, it is this hypothetical stock is 0001 on the ask, but on the bid side, there's no market makers. So, you know, someone could potentially accumulate as much as they wanted to, but because there are no market makers, they can't unload the stock. So they've got, you know, in essence, they have a worthless stock unless volume comes through, and unless, you know, and volume can be created because of confirmed material events. Volume can be created because of, you know, speculation. And volume can be created because of forward-looking statements that might be released by a company. There's a lot of things that can trigger volume. And, you know, a lot of times with these over-the-counter stocks, especially the pink sheets, you know, if they're oh, actually, Space Lord said, you mean Cellar-Boxed. Well, yeah, but actually I did the cellar like the basement. I did use that spelling intentionally. Is there a value in dollars that it would take to get out of the Cellar-Boxed? Well, see, and again, I don't talk specific stocks. It's you know, there is no you know, every ticker is different, and you know, typically, and oh, by the way, I encourage everyone, subscribe to my channel and check out my penny stock videos. I've got a lot of other videos too, but not every Cellar-Boxed stock is the same, because there's some that there's. So let's step back and let's just look at the big meat and potatoes here. So there's some of these, and again, I'm not an expert. This is for entertainment purposes only. It should not be considered a recommendation to buy or sell security. But there are some stocks out there that are just they're never going to crawl out of probably never going to crawl out of the cellar. They're probably never going to crawl out of the basement. And the reason is that a lot of those stocks, they have so many authorized shares that, it would take potentially billions of shares traded to potentially uptick. I mean, that's, now there are exceptions. There are stocks that have very few authorized shares that they just don't really have any hype. And something Jonas says, that one guy says, focus, mighty one. I'm going to try. This is cold, man. As long as I can get away without coughing and sniffling, I'm happy. Jonas says, appreciate your answer without spreading about specific tickers. Do you believe in, don't mention specific tickers. Are you familiar with meme stocks? Oh, meme stocks are in the spotlight. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a minute. It is more of a concentrated purchase over a small amount of time to take XYZ stock out of that position. What is the market cap of these companies? So, so the ones that have a ton of authorized shares. So the best way to visualize this, you got a bathtub, right? You got a bathtub. Then you got a swimming pool. And then you got the ocean. Like that ocean that's back there behind me. You get a little rock. You throw that rock in the bathtub, it's going to make a noticeable splash. You take that same rock, same size, same weight, exact same rock. You went in your bathtub, dug it out. Now you throw that rock in the pool. It's going to make a splash, but it's going to be less noticeable. You take that exact same rock out of that swimming pool, same rock you threw in that bathtub and you threw in that pool, and you throw it in the ocean. Nobody's going to notice. Unless there's a boat going by, and even if that boat goes by, that rock is so small in comparison to that boat, nobody on the boat's probably going to notice. They're probably all up on top deck drinking and staring at the horizon so they don't get seasick. So that's the best way to visualize. That is the best way to visualize authorized shares. You get these bloated penny stocks that have so many authorized shares that it would take just a flood of volumes, billions and billions of shares, to potentially uptick. So just because someone sees a stock that, 0001, that's cheap. Maybe that's something I would accumulate. You got to be careful because, it can be a trap. Now, and it may not be, because there are some stocks, and this is another situation. Colin, how did you learn about cellar-boxing? Is that what is happening with Sears and Blockbuster? Now, I'm not going to talk about specific symbols. Again, I posted my video 9/12 of 2011 about cellar-boxing because that video was applicable to what I'd learned about the over-the-counter stock market. The OTCBB, over-the-counter bulletin board. So it's just, Nick says, have you heard or have you seen cellar-boxing happen with big-ticket stocks? It's clear that it probably is a lot more common with penny stocks that don't have as much restart interest in the stock. Again, I don't really even, nowadays, I don't even play big boards, man. I just do the micro caps. The only thing I do in the big boards, I just do REITs, real estate investment trusts, because those are historically, they're probably long and strong. Again, expect to lose it all. But, I don't, if I want to go out and play, I play in the over-the-counter bulletin board sandbox. That's my only sandbox. The big boards, man, that's all I used to do was the big boards. But then again, I graduated to the over-the-counter markets, and that's where I am now, is the OTCBB. But it's, so there's so many traps here, and it's one of those things that, they just keep, whatever the forms of manipulation may be. And again, I'm centering most all of my comments around hypothetical situations with the over-the-counter markets, the OTCBB. So in most of these scenarios, they cellar-box. They cellar-box a stock, cellar, like the basement. So, there's so many people that don't want to see a stock rise. In the case of a penny stock, you've got a stock that's, that's heavily shorted. Again, short sellers are people that are buying with the expectation that a stock will hopefully decrease in price per share. You've got short sellers that if a stock goes up, they're losing money. So, there's all sorts of methods that, it's a stock market's is a creepy and crooked place, man. But there's so many different techniques. There's groups of traders that will work together. Brad, welcome aboard, sir. Welcome aboard. Groups of traders that'll work together, for the sole purpose of trying to drive the price of a stock down. There's groups of traders that'll work together. Maybe they're not the shorters. They're not the short sellers. They want to see that price per share increase. So, they'll do everything they can to try to create hype within forums and this, that, and the other. And there's companies themselves, with ill intent that'll do things and unfairly manipulate a stock price. So, it's a tough world, man. The penny stocks, again, I don't trust anyone. I don't trust anything. I always have and always will look at penny stocks as a form of entertainment. It really entertains the heck out of me because it's detective work. You're going into something where pretty much everything is probably fluff. My expectation is that 95% of what I read, whether it's in forums or even official press releases from a company, I look at that going in as like at least 95% of it is probably fluff. And even the stuff that appears to be positive, there's something called forward-looking statements. And the best way to explain that is that, you look at a stock and they put out a press release, or maybe the people in the forums are saying, oh, this should, or this might, or this may, the company intends to. All of the verbiage in there that basically just negates the possibility of something happening. It's not they're saying it will on X date, or this is what's happened. Here's confirmation, this, that, and the other. Those forward-looking statements are tend to, expect to, hope to, it's our plan to, that sort of stuff. And that is something, especially for newer traders, that's something initially more difficult to decipher, because you look at that and it's easy to look at something and say, oh man, this is great, without realizing that something is grammatically crafted in a way to where it's a forward-looking statement, which basically means it probably holds no weight whatsoever. It was just put out with the hopes of attracting interest, attracting, traders. But, your smart trader is going to realize, okay, well, that's just, and, there are some forward-looking statements, letters of intent, that sort of thing that, sometimes those anticipated events, sometimes they happen, but often they don't. But yeah, I've been in so many stocks that are cellar-boxed, and they just stay in the basement, and no matter how long one crawls through the sewers, like that sewer rat, nothing's gonna happen. Anonymous, how many penny stock plays do you keep open at once? If high risk reward, maybe for opportunity costs, need to keep dozens open at once. I don't really do many concurrently. My thing, and again, all of this video, everything within is for entertainment purposes only. It should not be considered a recommendation to buy or sell security. I'm sharing this video for entertainment purposes only. But, one of the things that I do is I use, and actually OTC, and this sounds really low level and newbie, but one of the things I like to do is just go to otcmarkets.com, and they've got a free screener tool on their website. And it allows you to filter to filter the OTC market activity, and it also allows you to export to a spreadsheet. So what I'll do is export that spreadsheet periodically, and then I will sort by the criteria that I have. Now, again, this is criteria that I've created for myself after many years of experimentation with penny stocks. And I'll say, okay, these are probably garbage. These are your typical pump and dump. Seen it once, seen it again. But how about this one? How about that one? How about that one? These shells that have been beaten down, but they still seem to be pretty clean. There's not a lot of basically, oh, the golden majestic meatball, welcome aboard, sir. But there's not a lot of stuff that would prevent that shell from maybe becoming a reverse merger candidate or something along those lines. You get a custodian in there. Custodian finds a good shell. I mean, I've had several shells that were picked up by custodians. And they go in, they get all the foulings current. They get, they make that shell clean with hopes, with the intent of someone coming through and wanting to reverse merge. And level, you think of traditional IPO route, initial public offering with the big boards. Companies have to pay tons of money to go public on the big boards. But the poor way, the poor company way to go public is the reverse merger route through the OTC markets. That's a fascinating thing to research, by the way, if you ever want to look at that. Let's see. We've got Sean Daniels. Came here from Reddit to let you know that you are priceless in providing valuable information to us apes in these trying times. Again, it's just entertainment. There's nothing more. This is entertainment, and I appreciate those kind words. Colin, do you have a view on naked short selling and fail to delivers? I'm sure you are well aware of this hedge fund tactic along with Cellar-Boxing. Yeah, so naked short selling, Colin, when I think of naked short selling, what immediately comes to mind is silver, physical silver. Back in, and again, not so much now, but in the past, several years ago, when silver ran up, what did it run up to? Almost around $50 a troy ounce. There was a lot of speculation that certain entities did not have the physical to cover. So, so they were naked. They had naked short positions. Let's see. Cesare, you seem to be reluctant to discuss any tickers by names for example purposes. Why is that? I just don't. It's a choice. I'm not here to, number one, I'm here for entertainment. This is just for entertainment purposes. But number two, it's not me to go out and say, ticker symbol A, B, C, X, Y, Z, whatever. I'm not here to pump or dump any stocks. I'm just here to entertain and talk about the fascinating journey of exploring and potentially trading penny stocks. That's what I'm all about. I'm not here to make recommendations. I'm not here to provide advice. That's not me. This is just for entertainment purposes only. So that's it's a choice. It's a choice. Adam says all YouTubers do this and they think it's legally binding, but I'm not sure it is. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer either. Not a lawyer. Colin says, last question. What is your background, if you don't mind us asking? You seem very knowledgeable in the markets. Like I said, I ran a lawn care business. So I mowed grass and used that money from mowing the grass and weed eating. Use that money to get my feet wet with the stock market. And that was back when you only had the brick and mortar broker. I mean, there was no online trading platform at that time. You had to drive to the physical brick and mortar. And since I was a minor at the time, I had to, give the money to my parents and allow them to go with me to the broker so that they could place the trades. So, I started early. And that's the thing, entrepreneurship has always been on the top of my totem pole. I mean, there's any, someone can do anything. I mean, there's exceptions, when you're dealing with the medical field, when you're dealing with the legal field, lawyers and doctors, that sort of stuff, that's different. You've got to have a very specific path. You've got to have those very specific credentials to be allowed to perform whatever professional role. The stock market as a day trader, you don't have to. Adam, do you think the market will continue going up, or do you see a pullback? I definitely see a pullback. I think there's certain sectors that are probably going to they're probably going to continue to pull back now really hard. I think there may be a few sectors that may be, and I don't want to say anything's immune, but there's some sectors that will be a little bit more, probably be a little bit more resilient than the others. But I think we're due for a rapid market correction. I think I think we're long overdue. Cesare, I don't think you have to worry about us flocking to a stock or something else based on your opinion, since all of us are balls deep in a certain stock. That's funny, man. So yeah, that's. Sorry, I gotta drink some water. The Golden Majestic Meatball, AC3. If you don't know AC3, that is Archibald Chesterfield III. most famous YouTube personality in the world. Check him out, Archie Luxury on YouTube. So AC3 was all about the Reverso, and I was about the master controlled date. Talking about JJ LeCoute. Adam says tech. Tech's always hard to predict. And the thing is with tech stocks, there's so many factors, regulatory things that come into concern with that. It's really hard to predict tech, and tech is such a broad sector anyway. It's to properly respond to your question, I don't think we're ever going to see another tech boom like we saw in the 2000s. The internet boom when all that started. Sad Simpson. Sad, unfortunately I don't talk into specific tickers, so I just chat about stock stuff in general. But yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be definitely gonna be an interesting next few years for the for the stock market. And what's interesting, and I don't know if y'all are aware of this, but the way that the for example, pink sheets, now there's a new requirement. It was introduced this year that, if those stocks aren't current, I don't think there's hardly any brokers that you can trade them through. So there was a big rush. There was a big trend this year with a lot of the 000 and, those types of pink sheets. There was a lot of perceived interest in, custodians coming in and cleaning up those shells, those inactive shells, and making them current. So, making them current with hopes of them becoming a reverse merger candidate. It's been a big trend this year. That's something I followed. That is a piece that I followed real closely this year. So, yeah, Space Lord says time to short bonds. These are uncertain times, man. Adam says, where do you trade? You recommend a broker. I was thinking about Sophie, but they don't do OTC stocks yet. Well, it kind of comes and goes. I like, and again, I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I personally like TD Ameritrade. The reason being is that I like their mobile app. Their mobile app is really nice. I've got level 2 L2 quotes in my mobile app on Ameritrade, and they seem to be pretty penny stock friendly. When I used two brokers, because there were times where certain stocks that I traded were restricted from one or the other. So the perfect duo that I had at one point, I used Fidelity, and then I also used TD Ameritrade. And with that, I was able to trade about anything. So Sad Simpson says, can only pink sheets be Cellar-Boxed? Well, I mean, any, stocks are stocks. I mean, just because a stock has the prestige of being on one of the big boards, NASDAQ, American Stock Exchange, New York Stock Exchange, etc., doesn't mean that stock is any more immune to being Cellar-Boxed than a pink sheet stock in the OTC markets. I mean, any stock could potentially become Cellar-Boxed. No stock is immune. Stocks are stocks. It just, it's that's a sad reality, man. Stocks are stocks. They certainly are. So, yeah, man, we got to get this channel up. I'm at 82,971 subscribers. I've got to get this channel up past 100,000 subscribers. You know what would be really cool? If you can share with everyone you know, subscribe, ring that bell icon. Let's get this channel up past 100,000 subscribers within the next week. I think that would be awesome. And the reason I want that, I know it sounds really corny, but when I hit 100,000 subscribers, apparently I'm supposed to get some sort of trophy, silver play button from YouTube or something. Adam says, do you have any thoughts about SPACs? Yeah, actually SPACs, that's what I was talking about earlier with the reverse mergers and all of that. Again, ultra, super duper, 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 super duper, 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 duper high risk. I can't reiterate how high risk, but there's definitely some money to be made there if one is lucky. Again, it's all luck. It's gambling, educated casino. That's the way I look at it. But Golden says, "Are you an ape?" Yeah. Okay. So I guess I am. Okay, what else? Hey, I want to remind everyone this super chat. So you see down below the little chat box, there's that little $sign. You can choose to super chat. I'm gonna throw up a little poll too. I say, have you heard of Cellar? Okay. Let's see what we got here. Typing a little thing here. So, yeah, really interesting. Yeah, it's really excited me that this Cellar-Boxed video picked up so much, man. Yeah, I mean, a video from 2000 and let's see, when was it? Was it 2011? Go back, man. This video is let's see here. What I think would be cool, if any of y'all out there own one of the big like mainstream news networks, if you could get me on there with Skype, I think that'd be really cool. That'd really help. That'd really help my YouTube channel. You know what I mean? If I could get on one of the big, and get plugged as Irish Guys Adventure Channel on one of the big financial news networks, I think that'd be awesome. Let's see here. Cellar-Boxing. See how many views the original video has now. Let's see. I've been watching this one like a hawk. Oh, it's up to 8,632 views. And I'm going to pull up my analytics. "10 years to the day." Yes, sir, Saeed. Let's see. Adam says, "I buy undervalued companies when others are selling them. I wait a few years and bank. Patience is a tool of choice. I've made almost all my wealth in the market." Yeah, excuse me. Jefferson says, "I'm going to call my mom." And Saeed says, "Are you aware of what's happening? How much effort is being put to suppress this information?" I don't know. All I want is super chats. So, if y'all want to, Saeed, you did not sound mean at all. All that I want is super chat. So if anybody chooses to super chat, you can click that super chat button in the chat box, and that'll help to support my channel. I'm here. I'm loving the hype, man. I mean, again, that video that I posted 9/12 of 2011, what does Cellar-Boxed mean? Stock market terminology. I mean, it got on my radar because, like I said, I checked my analytics. So looking at the, I'm gonna scroll this back here for the last 7 days. So I mean, this stock was just this video, not this stock. This video was just a dead video for years, and now it is rocketed, man. I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's just interesting to see how that video has rocketed. And I mean, obviously I noticed because, y'all were kind enough to like the video, subscribe, share with others, and then you commented and you're like, oh, this video was posted on Reddit. And Jonathan says, did you see the Super Stonk post? I have not. Do you have a link to the Super Stonk post? I saw the Reddit. Garrett, great question. How did I learn the term Cellar-Boxed? Again, I started with the big board stocks, New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, Amex. Started trading those when I was mowing grass. I would have turned a few $100 into potentially a few $1,000s. And then, share that Super Stonk video link. I haven't seen that. But yeah, so what I did, I graduated from the big boards and started trading the over-the-counter markets, the OTCBB. And when I did that, I discovered that, there's certain stocks that just don't move. They're Cellar-Boxed. And that was what prompted me to post the video that I posted 9/12 of 2011 explaining Cellar-Boxed. Again, it was just for entertainment purposes only, but I was just like, yeah, I mean, I like the stock market. I'm gonna post this, and why not? And see, I'm gonna look for Super Stonk. I'm gonna search for that. Super Stonk. Let me see. Super Stonk Reddit. Okay, that is on Reddit. Yeah, I think maybe the Super Stonk was the Reddit link that I found. 40 ounces to freedom. Do you know why? And Sad Simpson says, is there a way for a company to trap shorts before said company becomes Cellar-Boxed? Shorts are wicked animals, man. Those short sellers, man, they can be mean, nasty, and vicious. They really can. Free corn dogs. That's what I like to hear, man. I tell you, if I could have anything I wanted right now, I would just get about 6 corn dogs, some mustard and ketchup, and just eat it up. That'd be great. Speaking of that, if y'all want to super chat me, if y'all want to leave a super chat, I may go buy some corn dogs and eat them. That'd be great. Let's see. Free corn dogs. If Yahoo Finance is providing data that reads something like shares outstanding 5 million, but a float of 15 million, can a float be more than the outstanding shares, or more likely bad info? Okay, so here's the thing. If a TA, a transfer agent, the TA is not gagged. So you need to know if the TA, the transfer agent for a company, is gagged or not. What I always like to do, if a transfer agent is not gagged, I reach out to the transfer agent directly, if they're not gagged, and I say, hey, can you share your current share structure with me? And if they're not gagged, they should be able to furnish that information. I never trust share structure info that I find on any sort of board, especially something like Yahoo. I want to get it straight from the horse's mouth, straight from the transfer agent. Just my opinion. Again, entertainment purposes only. Saeed says, I can't tell if you've been following Mimi stocks or not. Oh, super chat. I got $1.49. Oh, yes, sir. I can buy some penny stocks, or actually some corn dogs. Okay, so we got that. Let's see. Saeed says, LMAO, he has no idea. Buckle up. Jonathan says, Reddit Super Stonk. Super Stonk for the win. Free Corn Dog says, not financial advice. Super Stonk is a subreddit. Aha. Dude, have you not participated on Reddit yet? Reddit, my thing has always been iHub, Investors Hub. When I want to dig through the sewer of penny stocks, I get on Investors Hub because it's it's not the fact that I'm necessarily going there to try to make money. It's that I'm going there just to be part of the excitement. I mean, it's always it's like you're a detective. You're just trying to decipher the fluff from the even fluffier fluff. And it's a fun journey. And that's how I learned terms like Cellar-Boxed and all of that. The journey throughout many years. And again, I've been doing this for many, many years. I've been doing stocks since before the internet existed, before your online brokers existed. So I'm old school, man. I got this gray hair. Didn't even comb my hair this morning. I cut it myself too to save money. The polls are on fire. Saeed says, he has no idea, guys. Golden Sheriff, wow. Anonymous, people are here because they are looking for evidence of stock manipulation in a certain company. By the way, a lot of financial people write not financial advice at the bottom of the stream and talk stocks. Let's see. Oh, you sent me a link. Very cool. Reaction should be good. Computer share is the TA for, okay. Yeah, transfer agents. KC, thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. KC says, I'll link the relevant Reddit post. It's funny, the link didn't come through on the chat. That's weird. Let me scroll back and see. Maybe yeah, it didn't. I guess for some reason my chat blocks. If you Google that post, what would you type in Google to find it? Would it just be maybe it's Super Stonk Cellar-Boxed? Let me try that. Oh, 1 day ago. Here we go. This may be the post. Let's see if I can find that there. Let's see. Garrett says, a post from 2004 in Investor Hub is what started this rabbit hole. And then we got Lid. Do you have invested in... Oh, no, I have zero position in that. I mean, I really don't. I mean, I have nothing. 40 ounces to freedom. Spend some time on Superstonk. Hundreds of thousands of people have been discussing what we learned called cellar-boxing and other issues with market for months. So am I like a Nostradamus or something? Did I find something? That's weird. That is weird because today is September the 12th of 2021. And in my video, let's see. And my video was September the 12th of 2011. That is bizarre, man. That is bizarre. Yeah, that is. Let's see. It's at the top of the Super Stonk subreddit. Do yourself a favor, stop talking and read it. I'll donate if you give us an answer. Anonymous says 10-year-old video about cellar-boxing with less than 500 views. Ryan says, dude, dive into Super Stonk. And then we got Jonathan. I found the entire naked shorting game plan playbook posted on a forum in 2004. They called it Cellar-Boxing plus Yahoo/Morningstar censoring data depending on your IP. It's not a glitch. And 40 Ounces of Freedom says, I found the entire naked shorting game plan. Yeah, I just read that. Reddit Superstonk, I found the naked short plan. Aha, KC, yes, sir. I'm going to Google that right now using that fancy search engine called Google. I started trading stocks before Google was even a name. Isn't that weird, man? That's old OG here. Let's see, I'm going to Google that right now. Reddit Superstonk, I found the naked short plan. Okay, haha. 2000 okay, that post is from 2004. The one that was a top hit that I got. So that, yeah, I did find that. Still don't know. So I Googled that. That's on the front page of Super Stonk right now anyways. I found the entire, okay. Yes, sir, the Nostradamus of stonks. Nostradamus. Read it. Oh my gosh, just read it. Okay, I'm gonna have to read it in a minute. I need some super chats, man. I need some super chats. Someone super chat him just to tell him to read it ASAP. Anonymous, universe simulation confirmed. 10 years exactly. Let's see. Let me Google that. This is too funny, man. You know what I hope and again, if I'm like some sort of Nostradamus guy, if I can at least get like just a bunch of really good steak dinners out of this and, you know, something, you know, get on a big TV show. I mean, this could be huge for Irish Guys Adventure Channel. So I'm going to read this here in a minute. Just got to get those super chats coming in here. Let's see here. Well, I'm Googling, man. I am really having a hard time finding this. I must be really ignorant. Okay, here's what I would say. If someone's, because I can get links through Facebook, KC or anyone, if you can go to facebook.com/IRIXGuy. Facebook.com/IRIXGuy. If you can go there and send me the link to this Reddit or this super stonk that everybody's talking about, I'd love to read it. I want the link. I mean, I don't think I'm getting the correct link when I Google it. Jonathan says, someone posted this stream on Superstonk. Yes, please do. Please do. All the exposure is the best. I mean, I need video views, man. I got to get this channel past 100,000 subscribers ASAP. Okay? Oh, it is the right post. 16 hours old. The original post is from 2004. And then Anonymous says, Google this. 10-year-old video about cellar-boxing with less than 500 views. Okay. Let me go to... Oh, man, this is funny. Let's see. I'm going to load that up. Okay, that may pop me right into where we need to go here. So, okay, so I'm Googling 10-year-old video about cellar-boxing with less than 500 views. Reddit. Okay, it's a top link 1 day ago. Aha. It says 10-year-old video about, okay, and it says posted by Long Jumping College. _college. Is that the one? Is that the one I'm looking for? It says posted by u/Long Jumping _college 13 hours ago. Brad, I don't have any of those. Woms, we apes started in the subreddit GME. GME got compromised and we migrated to Superstonk. At first, we just liked this stock. Now we are uncovering all this market manipulation. Woohoo. Restless River says, someone wanted 500K people to know about cellar boxing. Who and why? Could it be diversion? And KC says, it's the right post 16 hours ago. 16 hours old. The original post is from 2004. Count says, oh, no, another YouTuber begging for super chats. Got it. Oh, I'm not begging. I just, super chats are appreciated. They're not required, but it helps to support the channel for sure. And then Saeed says, dude, you have no idea the money at stake here. Saeed says, this guy is asking for pennies. Well, if there's a lot of money at stake, then, people throwing super chats my way shouldn't be an issue. So that's the way I look at it. Here we go. Restless says, seriously, here we go asking for money. Saeed says, this is what the rest of the world is like. Let's see here. And then that one guy says, You're going to be big, but not for the big hedgies, the hedge funds rather. Jonathan says, LOL, SOS, true. And 40 Ounces of Freedom says, just so you know, asking this crowd for a bunch of super chats and money ain't going to work. We value sharing information freely for the benefit of everyone. And then Jane says, can you Cellar-Boxed a stock that is not OTC pink? Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I mean, there's no, no stock market that's immune. I mean, you're dealing with big boards, you're dealing with pennies. Typically, at least from what I've seen, again, this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not an expert. I'm just, somebody that became obsessed with stocks at an early age. Typically, I see it with the, with the over-the-counter markets, in particular the pink sheet tier, which is the bottom of the OTC market barrel. So if you're crawling through the sewer like a rat, trying to find those bottom-of-the-barrel stocks, you're probably going to land upon pink sheets. Let's see. Terrible certainty. Just learned of you on Reddit a minute ago. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard, everyone. That's not just for everyone here. That's for everyone that may be watching this live stream after this live stream concludes. But as long as I'm getting engagement during this live stream, I'm going to keep this thing open for a while. Now, I may have to go get some corn dogs. Let's see. Jonathan says, yes, it is. Post is 16 hours. How hard can it be to find? Begging for subscribers is good practice for a YouTube channel normally. It's not going to backfire for you. It's going to backfire for you in this case, is what Andy said. And I'm not begging. I was just asking. I mean, I always ask when I do a live stream, I always ask for super chats. Again, not required, completely optional. And then Russell says, what is this guy's qualifications? He didn't decide to do this live out of nowhere. Oh, no, I did it live, so here's what happened. So I look at my analytics. I'm a big YouTuber. I run this YouTube channel, Irish Guy's Adventure Channel, youtube.com/Irish Guy. And I noticed a flood of traffic for one of my videos. One of my videos from 2011, 9/12/2011. I'm like, man, what's going on? So I'm, I get up and, I'm doing my morning routine and I have a little something to eat and I go to the toilet and I pull out my smartphone. I pull out my smartphone and I'm looking through. I'm like, man, where's all the traffic coming from? And sure enough, it kept going back. It kept going back to my video entitled, What Does Cellar-Boxed Mean? And that's the video that was receiving all the traffic. So upon performing my due diligence and saying, okay, well, why did this penny stock video that I posted in 2011 all of a sudden receive so much love? I read everybody's comments. Well, not everybody's, because there's so many comments, it's hard to read them all. But the consensus is that it was pointing back to a Reddit post. So, I mean, hey, this is interesting. Wallum says, I posted the stream on the daily chat already. Deeply appreciated, man. Deeply appreciated. Thank you. Count Buckler. Andy, he is not asking for donations, and it's not going to end well. Ryan says, you want to set aside a whole bleep week to get caught up on Superstonk. And then Andy says, I know donations and subscribers. And Armageddon DOP says, let's see. I'm trying to get. Armageddon DOP says, I'm here from Superstonk. Welcome aboard. Andy says, standard practice for a YouTube channel trying to build. Just saying, this particular time it isn't going to practice, it'll backfire. And it says, count. Okay, wait. Oh, so I already got there. Andy says, no idea if he'll read it or not. Count Bacchio says, sheesh. Wam says, it's got 42.7K upvotes. Is that good in the Reddit universe? Again, admittedly, I've stumbled upon Reddit within Google searches, but I've never really used Reddit. I haven't had the need to use it. 720 pixels. What's up, man? What's up, 720 pixels? 2 thumbs up. And then we got Liechtenstein 1993. I'm looking for I can't help you with that. Nope. Sorry, this is not a dating channel, so I can't help you there. Andy says, as a former digital marketer who freelanced, either a business owner listens or they don't. And I don't give a beep when what I said happens. Count Buckula says, I've never witnessed a streamer that reads the chat back. It's my common practice, man. Check out all my live shows, Irish Guys live shows. Also have a series that I'm about to grow. It's called Timepieces for Tomorrow. And that live show is wristwatch centric. So if you're interested in, in wristwatches and you want to watch my live show, I've got the Timepieces for Tomorrow live show as well. Andy says, as a former digital marketer who, I already read that. And Count says, in full. Andy says, he got a YouTube analytics report. That SUS, if he is trying to become a YouTuber and grow a brand omni-channel. Lost in the sauce. What kind of sauce, man? You got Chipotle sauce. You got maybe a remoulade, some sort of New Orleans flair with that food. Spicy. They put some fried chicken fingers in it. Reddit is convinced the criminals behind these crimes will print the global fiat in circulation several times over to close their short positions without putting up a fight because they expose them. Anonymous says, what do you know about the forum bashers? Have you ever met one? And then Free Corn Dog says, nice. And Garrett says, do yourself a favor and let the money and views come in organically. That's always a good idea, yeah. And that's the thing. I've never... I did do a few through Google. Was it Google Is it Google Ads for video? A few paid video promotions, not a bunch of money, just a little bit of money, and that helped. But all my views and all my subscribers are organic. I've never paid for those. And Saeed says, are you invested in GameStop? No, I'm not. And Andy says, asking, begging, it's the same, bro. Don't try semantics. Just take the advice and provide info. Let the rest care for itself. No, I agree. And I'm never begging. I mean, I just, on these live streams, it's, I just always throw out there that that's an option. If people want to support the channel, they can choose to do so. Because time is money. And I mean, I've been on this live stream for an hour and 7 minutes. Time is definitely money. So just kind of like, you go out to a restaurant and you have a good meal. You're not just going to walk away from your table and not leave a tip. It's, again, not required, but you come back to that country club the next time, and they're like, that's a guy that doesn't tip. It's not a good look. Okay, so here we go. And then Anonymous says, go to the toilet and fart nice. There we go. 40 ounces to freedom. Spend a couple days on Superstonk and come back and do another live chat. Since once you've read through a lot of the stuff, I guarantee you will get a beep of subs if you can discuss what we learned. WOMS, LMAO, Anon. Henry, could you give a quick sum up of Cellar-Boxing? Yeah. So Cellar-Boxing, again, Cellar-Boxing, and again, this is for, like, all these comments are for entertainment purposes only. They should not be considered a recommendation to buy or sell security. I'm sharing all of this for entertainment purposes only. Cellar-Boxing is something I discovered, and again, just to quickly recap, I started mowing grass. I made a few $100. I invested in the big board stocks back before you could even trade online. You had to go to a brick and mortar broker. But, my fascination continued, and I graduated from the big boards and became involved with the penny stocks. And I mean, that's all that I deal with now for fun is just the penny stocks because it's an educated form of gambling. But in my infancy of trading penny stocks, I found that, okay, well, just because a stock is, hypothetically 0001 price per share, and hypothetically I could probably get 1 million shares for $100 plus commission, doesn't mean it's going to go anywhere. And I discovered that, that those stocks could become Cellar-Boxed. And I mean, maybe that term that I used in September of 2011, that video that I posted that has apparently been shared all over the world, which is great. I love that because, I won't, sometimes videos may sit for years before they really get a lot of attention that they need. it gets picked up by a blog. It gets picked up, in this case, I guess, by Reddit. But, whatever the case may be, it gets out there. And that's, but my discovery of Cellar-Boxing was part of my personal fascination with the over-the-counter markets. And, just trying to throw some not educational, but entertaining videos out there on my channel. And that video received no love. As you've seen, this video received no love until, what is today, 2021? Today is 9/12 of 2021. I posted that video in 2011. Think about this, man. Okay? Trust me, I'm as shocked by this as y'all are, because, again, I was just, I was on the toilet this morning, and I scrolling through my analytics. Well, what is happening? What is happening? Why are all these views coming through for this old video? And that's what got me here. That's what got me to this. So I want to do this live show because I think that this enables me to learn more about what y'all are saying. And let's see. Jonathan says 47.2K is huge, of course. Talking about the Reddit post. Garrett says lots of YouTubers that cover the stock market as of late take a lot of heat for taking advantage of people trying to learn. They are quickly dispelled on Super Stonk with 600K members. Huh. Let's see here. And it says, Andy says, agreed. We are here to hear more about Cellar-Boxing. Provide a great show on that, and subscribe button will take care of itself. And then Dan says, GameStop short sellers got caught selling more shares than exist. Huh. Free corn dogs. Don't let all these idiots talk beep about you using this opportunity to make money. That's why we are all here too. LMAO. Adam says, did DJI, talking about the drone company, did they ever go public? I don't think they did. I may be wrong, but I know they are I think they're aren't they based out of Shenzhen, China? I think that's where they're based. I'm not sure. I don't think they did. If they did, it's not to my knowledge, it's not something that would be on a United States-based big board. Jonathan says, lost in the female sauce. Nisby says, hello. Hello, Nisby. Welcome to the live show. Good to have you here. Good to have everyone here, by the way. Let's see. Katie says, did anyone else with this Cellar-Boxing was Fight Club with wine? And then we got Long Banker. Linked your stream at Stock Twits. Woohoo! Share. Woohoo! Woohoo! That is awesome. I appreciate the support. And then we've got Jonathan says, please stop talking about tips and go to the big money talk. Read the post now. We're going to have to get to that. We got to build the anticipation. And let's see. Okay, Ticky Mick. Can you tell us about contingent coupon callable yield notes, please? Not even familiar with that. I'm really not. And then Jonathan says, read the post on SS, please. Okay. I'm going to get to that. Anonymous. How common is naked short selling? Actually, I think it's been a trend. It's something that, since I started with penny stocks, naked short selling. Actually, I was first introduced to the term naked short selling, and it wasn't because of stocks. It was because of silver, physical silver. Back when physical silver spiked to around, I think it was around $50 or so a troy ounce. Andy says, if you started in OTC, explain some of the beep that goes on versus what is seen more on the big board stocks. A lot of apes are not familiar with pink sheet, beep, shells, etc. So think of this. And this is the way that I look at it. Again, all of this is for entertainment purposes only. But when I was and this was a mentality that I had, and I'm not saying it's correct or incorrect, but the mentality that I had, if I'm taking a few $100 of grass mowing money, mowing the lawn, and putting it into big board stocks, which at the time that's all I knew about. Okay, so I'm mowing grass, I'm taking a few hundred, I'm putting into stocks that are a few dollars a share. So, but what if what attracted me to the OTC markets, the over-the-counter bulletin board, was that instead of stocks that are, and there are some that are multiple dollars per share, But there's also a lot of them, especially in the pink sheets, that are sub penny. Some as low as 0001.0001. So that's cheap, or it's perceived as cheap. The thing with this is that, my thing is always price percentage increase. I don't care what the narrative is behind whatever ticker symbol. I just care about the price per share fluctuations. And what made me go from, okay, the big boards, which are cool, it's an exciting place that's heavily publicized by your mainstream media. You got the little ticker at the bottom of the screen, blue and red, the up arrows, the down arrows. But what's often in the shadows is the OTC market. The OTC markets are often in the shadows. And the OTC markets are traditionally where people, again, expect to lose it all. But the OTC markets are traditionally where people can see these just astronomical price per share fluctuations. And that's not necessarily always a good thing. But, they always say, the old phrase, and I don't know who quoted this first, but it's, buy low, sell high. These people that and the way I like to visualize it, and again, the OTC markets are completely different now. And the video that I posted in 2011 about cellar-boxing, that's back when the OTC markets were not as, I guess you would say, as strict as they are today. Because back then, most any, not all, but most any ticker was probably able to be traded. And that's not the case with the OTC markets today. They've introduced a lot more regulatory speak, whatever. I mean, I don't want to get into all that. Oh, we got a super chat came in. I'm going to have to scroll down and congratulate. But yeah, so I like the fluctuations. Again, I do this for fun, and there's more excitement for me just from a detective type perspective. You get into the forums, you get into the Investors Hub, iHub, wherever, and you poke around. It's, part of the thrill is just deciphering all of the nonsense. And the other thrill is if you actually pick one up that does become, say, a reverse merger candidate or something like that, and it starts to rocket, that's where it can become really exciting. Robert says, read the post. I'm going to get to that. Space Lord says, Marcus, woo. Let's see what we got here. We got a long list here. Thanks everyone for sharing. And then let's see. And then we got the Golden Majestic. Is gold, silver, bronze Tudor rollout healthy? I think for Tudor, I think that what Tudor needs to do, if they're going to go that route, I think they need to switch to they have a ceramic bezel in the Pelagos, but I think they need to go, if they're going to go gold, they need to also go ceramic bezels. But see, then they're going to get into a situation where Tudor is trying to compete with Rolex, and I don't think they want that. I think they want the two to be two distinctly different brands. I mean, Tudor is the new vintage. It's got the Rolex DNA. It's a sister brand of Rolex. It's part of the Hans Willdorf Foundation. But I think that they need to, they're branding themselves as the more vintage-looking dive watch with current technology, 72-hour power reserve, etc. So I think that I don't know. I think Tudor needs to stick with stainless steel sports. That's my honest opinion. What do you think? What do you think about that? GCF, are you considering buying a 124060? You get the additional 72-hour power reserve. You get the slimmer lugs. You get the it's actually got AR coating, anti-reflective coating. I'm really not. I'd like a Pepsi. I'm not really a Batman fan, but I'd like a Pepsi. Beth H, super chat. Super duper chat. Hey, just wanted to say, appreciate your research and knowledge. Remember apes. We can't be greedy. That's what got us into this mess. And then Space Force says, Hurt went ballistic. And Beth, just to clarify, And this stream, I am blown away by the response that this stream has received. I posted it in the stream's comments. I mean, this is in response to my video that I posted September the 12th of 2011 that was entitled, "What Does Cellar-Boxed Mean?" So apparently that video that I posted in 2011 has garnered so much attention, which is fine. I mean, I'm a YouTuber. I track my analytics daily. But it's, I don't know. This is just crazy. Okay, now everybody wants me to read this post. Let's see. Let me see. So I found this post. Is the one y'all want me to look at, is it entitled 10-year-old YouTube video about cellar-boxing with less than 500 views? Let's see. Let me refresh and see. Let me make sure I'm on the correct post here, because that's be kind of stupid if I wasn't. The first person that's in there says, "Doctor, I'm not beep selling." There's no profanity on this channel, by the way. The beat goes on. Same tactic, just modernized for this decade. I'm so out of the market after Moas, HODL and Apone, it says. Let's see. Narek says, "Legend." Woo! Celebratory water chug. H2O. Nisby says, "No." Okay, so this is really ignorant to say, but where do I have to go? Where do I have to go to find this post? Again, if y'all can shoot it to my, oh, I see somebody 2 hours ago says this dude is about to host a live stream about cellar boxing. Check the video comments. And then, yeah, so the one I responded to originally was Sar Murpat 6411. It said, "Would love to see his face checking his YouTube counter after years of activity." Yeah, I mean, this is my face. That's why I did the live show, man. I mean, I'm a metrics fiend. So when I see something that ignites in my analytics, I gotta decipher what's going on. The top post on Super Stonk. So do I just go to Super? Let me see here. Oh, okay. Top middle of the page. Okay, we're gonna go to Super Stonk. Okay, here we go. Reddit.com/r/Super Stonk. Top post, that one guy. So that one guy, the top post I see, it says pinned by moderators. It says posted by u/auto moderator 10 hours ago. $GME daily discussion thread. Is it that one, or let's see. It says, Andy says, some newer apes are only just learning about market makers and the screwiness that they are allowed to pull. Have anything you have seen that you could share from OTC? So, and again, my video, the video I posted that's been shared, which is awesome, was in regards to OTC, over-the-counter bulletin board stocks. And, the things I've seen, and people that don't know what market makers are, so you've got a bid side of the fence, and that's what one might expect to pay if they try to add more shares of a stock. And then there's, sell, liquidate the stock. And then there's the ask side of the fence, is what one might expect to pay if they intend to add more of the stock, to accumulate more. So each side, and something you may want to look at, again, all this for entertainment purposes only, you may want to look at level 2, L2 quotes. Because when you're looking at level 2 quotes, and a lot of your online brokerages offer L2 service, level 2 service, you can see not just the bid and the ask, and that's what you see on your big news networks, but you can see on the bid side, there's all these market makers. You can see on the ask side, there's all these market makers. And you can often see the blocks, the share quantity, whatever. So level two, L2 quotes is a great way, when I'm looking at penny stocks to say, okay, well, and all of this is hypothetical. So hypothetically, there's a stock, let's say that on the ask, what one might expect to pay if they try to add more shares. Let's say the ask is 0009 price per share. But then you look at the bid, and there is maybe there's two market makers at 0002 price per share, and they've got a small share quantity listed at 0002 price per share. That's not a bullish sign. That's a situation where, okay, hypothetically, someone accumulates at 0009, but then immediately, if they tried to liquidate those shares, they would be lucky if they even got 0002 price per share. So, and again, a Cellar-Boxed, let's see here. But Cellar-Boxed are ones that they can just never, they crawl, they're sitting there, they're in the sewer, and they're just trying to crawl up that wall, and they can just never, because of all that mess that's in the sewer. I mean, a sewer is a nasty place. You got rats down there, you got, everything that comes, what goes in a sewer. But, you just imagine trying to crawl up that slimy wall, and they become Cellar-Boxed. They just can't get out of that sewer. They just can't. And Seth says, apes really want to hear about this relation. Again, I don't know anything about that. I mean, I posted this video in 2011. My video is in regards to the penny stocks. I mean, I was obsessed with penny stocks back then. I mean, I'm still obsessed with them, but not as wildly addicted as I was. Long Banker says, how did you learn about Cellar-Boxing? It's not easy to find out how market makers manipulate price. Very simple. The best form of self-education that I had was my level 2 quotes. At one point I had level 2 quotes through a website called Investors Hub, iHub. But then they offered it through Ameritrade. So I'm like, okay, well, I got Ameritrade level 2 quotes. And then you had the, the fancy little iPhone with the L2 tab. That's what I use. And, looking at level 2, throughout a trading day, if you look at level 2, you can see the bid and the ask. Is the bid rising? Is the bid falling? Which direction might that penny stock be heading? Again, it's all speculation. But, level 2 enabled me to spot certain trends. Level 2 enabled me to identify certain market makers, certain MPIDs, market makers that, make up the ask and also make up the bid side of the fence within level 2. I don't think I'm Nostradamus. I had level 2, and maybe my IQ is greater than some people's. I don't know, but I just saw this, and it's I don't know, man. Anonymous, Google Superstonk and it will be the top of the page. Oh, hey, a link came through, 720 pixels here. Aha! That link actually came through. Let me pull that up. Aha! You know how he made it pull up? He took off the fact that it was a URL disallowed that from posting in this live chat. But since 720 pixels removed that, now I can paste that at the end of reddit.com. So this is what they call a subreddit, which makes sense. I guess it's like it's a part of the bigger thing, part of the Reddit. Kind of like a directory in DOS, a subdirectory. Not the top level directory, but a subdirectory. Okay, here we go. And this actually loaded. I found the entire naked shorting game plan playbook posted on a forum in 2004. They called it Cellar-Boxing plus Yahoo/Morningstar censoring, da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so I think this is it. Now let's see. And let me see. So now how does my YouTube video come into this? Let's see here. So I'm trying to find here. This is a long post, man. This is super long. So that came through. Walm says 10 years ago to the day. I don't know, man. I mean, that is... I don't even do live streams this long. I mean, I'm an hour and 29 minutes deep into this live stream, but there's still. Hold on one sec. I gotta go take a leak. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, Walm says 10 years to this day. Let's see. Scrolling back up, sorry. Andy says, Seth, a good deal of beep that goes on in OTC happens. The difference is I don't think it's ever been hidden in OTC since this guy was trading long before. Exactly. And see, that was the thing. See, my thing with the OTC markets, the over-the-counter bulletin board, was always, it was fun and the crazy volatility. But, you know, I'm not one, and maybe it's because, I mean, maybe I'm not stupid. I don't know. But I was always one that's like, I question why. You know, I wanted to see, I'm an analytics, I'm a numbers-driven guy. So I wanted to understand why things worked. And that's what prompted me to go in and, you know, really try to decipher what L2 does, level 2. And I was actually, a lot of videos I posted, man, they didn't really get steam. I mean, that video, you know, 2011 until now, I mean, it received pretty much no traction. It was an unloved video. I mean, I even took the time in that video to put on a tie and, you know, tried to make myself look presentable, and it didn't do it, man. Nibsy says, I found the entire naked shorting game plan playbook posted on a forum in 2004. That's what it's called. And then Wom says, the post starts, I found the entire, here from Superstonk. Nick, welcome aboard, sir. You got a big forum. Again, I never use Reddit, but now I know, man, there's a big community out there. That is huge. That is huge, man. And then Saeed says, everything this guy talks about until he reads the post is irrelevant. LOL. I'll check back later. Hey, and this video will be posted after the live stream concludes. It's a video that'll be posted. You'll be able to play back, play back after the fact. Let's see. Wom says, the one with a beep, and it says anonymous. How do you identify a market maker from L2 data? Well, it's really simple. So if you've got level 2 quotes, you can see the ask side and the bid side, and they have what's called an MPID. And I'm not going to list the individual, but you'll see some market makers that tend to, and again, if a stock's about to tank, you might see a market maker like, oh, they're the ones that often comes in before a stock's dumped, or, oh, they're often the ones that are, you can kind of try to spot some trends there. And then Space Sword says, upvote the stream. Definitely, man. Deeply appreciated. We've got, right now, we've got 85 concurrent viewers, 68 likes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is fantastic. But the super chats are pretty low. But I do appreciate the super chats that have come through. Let's see. Darmian, you're one of the first people found to be talking about it, and from ages ago. But the gist is the belief that it's being used on the current. Yeah, see, and again, everything that I've posted. Well, I mean, it was 2011. I was posting in regards to the OTC markets. Just a little entertaining video. Saeed says, you're not the star of the post. Someone just shared it. Keep your ego in check. Oh, I don't have an ego. I'm just, when I look at analytics and I see traffic, I want to, okay, well, where did the traffic come from? And okay, well, I didn't plan to live stream today, but since there was traffic and I wanted to chat with everyone about this, I figured why not fire up a live stream? So that's what I did. And let's see. Darmian, apes have been going hard in the paint and either tinfoil hatting it like crazy or digging the deepest conspiracy. Wow. Let's see here. John says, I want to hear it out of his mouth. And then free corn dog. That's what I want, some free corn dogs, man. I'm getting super hungry. He literally never even has been on Reddit until today. Everyone chill out. I mean, I found Reddit in Google searches for various things I was researching, but the only penny stock stuff I use iHub, Investors Hub. I didn't even know that penny stocks on Reddit were a thing. That's pretty cool. Darmian, John TBF, he's only just come on radar as someone explaining cellar-boxing from 10 years ago. He might not even be invested into either. I'm not. No, I'm definitely not. Walm says, there is a subreddit for everything. Andy Bell says, he doesn't even know what is going on with these two ticker symbols. However, if he explains some of the beep around market makers on L2 sitting on the bid and ask, and it's, no, and again, I don't, and my video wasn't in response to any market makers, any of the MP IDs. That video from 2011 was just, this is, at least that was my way of, trying to decipher what cellar-boxing is. So, yeah, that is, Nico says, thanks for your work. Thank you for tuning in. Malu, apes checking in. Wahaha! We got all these animals here. I mean, this is like a zoo, man. We've got all these people in the audience. We've got 95 viewers right now, 84 likes, 85 likes, $10.94 super chats. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Malu says, you're about to get a bunch more. Very cool. Thanks for sharing, everyone. Hey, let's see, this is pretty cool. Hold on 1 second. Okay, sorry, I was just... Okay, so what are your thoughts on the whole GME fiasco? Again, I don't have any thoughts. My thoughts and what brought me here was the discovery that, a video on my channel was spiking, and I found that it was a video that I posted in 2011 pertaining to penny stocks. Yeah, this is, I'm going to have to research all of this. Just share your knowledge and people will donate accordingly if they see value in it. And again, I'm just, that one guy, tell us more about the level 2 and MM signals. Well, it's actually pretty simple. So if you look at, level 2, and again, all of these comments are for entertainment purposes only, but if you look at level 2, you don't just see the bid and the ask price. You see a better breakdown. You see the individual market makers, the individual MPIDs. You see the share quantity at each ask or at each bid that they have. So it's, level 2 can be a tool that might, and again, nothing certain, but it might enable people to possibly better predict, is a stock maybe going to go up? Is it maybe going to go down? I mean, again, this stuff is always unpredictable. But, it's a more in-depth view of the current price per share of a stock, because you're not just seeing the ask and you're not just seeing the bid, you're seeing the various market makers at potentially different price points on each side of the. So if you're looking at level 2, and let's say there was a stock that was 0009 on the ask, and then on that ask side you saw 0009, and there was a share quantity of 5 million. But then you saw 000 or 001, so .001. There's a fair degree of certainty, and again, nothing's given, nothing's for certain, but there's one might develop the educated assumption that stock might be about to uptick from 000 range to 00 range. That's just an illustration of how, level 2, L2 quotes, might, provide a penny stock trader with, some heightened insight. And let's see. N. Loopy says, where are you located? That is St. Bart's, the French West Indies. Andy says, the price point isn't the important part. It's a tactic and how it applies to a spread and the MM's take. Very true. Very true. Malu says, we're going to get this guy to invest. No, nobody can make me invest. I mean, the only, that's something I do on my own. It's for speculation. It's for fun. And I don't even really do it that much anymore. I mean, I dabble with penny stocks, but, I was most heavily involved with them probably the 2000s, the late 2000s. And then let's see. Man, there's tons of comments coming in. And then we got Anonymous. Super Stonk is huge. 600,000 readers. Man, if I had that, I'd have a nice nice house or something. That'd be nice. 600,000 readers. People basically want someone experienced on market manipulation to help confirm parts that people keep talking about. If you do, you will get a big audience. And again, I'm not here to to try to portray myself as something I'm not. I'm here to grow my YouTube channel. And when I saw this spike in my analytics this morning, I'm like, whoa, I got a video catching on. And that was that video from 2011 talking about cellar-boxing. So, I mean, I've been referred to as Nostradamus. I've been referred to as always saying, that's awesome. And I'm appreciative that, that video received some love recently, and that, that so many people have chosen to tune in live to this live stream. This is really good. Andrew, what's good, Mr. Sailor Man? There's something I like, and it's called Pussers. I don't know if you've ever had Pussers, but Pussers rum, they often just call it the Navy rum. It's just a really good dark rum. Darmian, you're in the spotlight because people want to use your experience with cellar-boxing to view or investigate the stock ticker symbol so we can figure out if it's connected. And again, like I said, my video is completely related to penny stocks, sub-penny, over-the-counter bulletin board stocks, particularly pink sheets. Darmian says, a lot of these apes are crazy enthusiastic but a little aggressive. And then Sean says, so in the case of companies who fall victim to these what avenues do they have to try and combat the weaponized? I have no idea, man. I really don't. Richie Rich says, bananas. Woo-hoo-hoo. Stefan says, hey, I just found you. Can you please catch me up to speed on your expertise in this area? Sure, Stefan. So basically what I did, I posted a video, and I linked it within this video's description. I posted a video 9/12 of 2011, and that video was entitled, What Does Cellar-Boxed Mean? Just one of many penny stock videos I'd posted. I took the time, I put a tie on, I put tried to make myself look presentable or whatever. And I posted that video because it contained discoveries that I had made on my own, while I was trying to better educate myself in regards to the very, slimy and grimy over-the-counter bulletin board scene, the penny stocks. Something I had never sailed those waters previously because I was a big board guy. I played with the big boards first, but then I graduated to penny stocks. So, it was just the heightened level of research that I could apply to penny stocks that made it more fascinating. I mean, I still haven't. If I'm this Nostradamus guy, I still haven't achieved what I'm supposed to achieve in my life, and it's I'm thrilled, when I see a video that rockets like that. I mean, my analytics, my YouTube analytics are like, they're like my lighthouse, man. I get up and I look at my analytics, where is, what is hot today? And what's hot today, obviously, is talking about the video that I posted and, September the 12th of 2011. And I, that's one of those things I'm going to have to, cellar-boxing. I mean, I used that word back then in 2011, and I guess I used the best word for that. And then Nicole says, I think I just stepped into an alternate universe. Welcome to the alternate universe. And then we got, what do you think about short selling as it relates to cellar boxing? I hate stocks that are cellar boxed because they often can't get out of the cellar. Again, you're in the sewer, that grimy and slimy and stinky area. It's got all that stuff all over the walls. And you're like a little rat just trying to crawl out of that sewer. It's just hard to do. Nick WSTP. Where did you learn the term cellar boxing? Actually, Nick, I've got a playlist full of penny stock videos. Let me get a link to that here. I'm going to get a link to my playlist here and share with the channel. Let's see what I got here. It'll take just a second while I load playlist, see if I can pop my link out of this. Aha, there we go. Yeah, so this has piqued my curiosity. I'm looking back to see how far back I even went with these playlist link. Now this link, and I hope it'll work in chat. I'm going to try to paste this in live chat here, Nick WSTP. So I'm going to paste the link. So that's my YouTube playlist link. But if that whole link doesn't go through, like we learned earlier, sometimes it'll bleep it out. If you just go to the playlist syntax, that's the actual playlist name on my YouTube channel for my penny stock videos. Andy says most apes here are familiar with the 1 minute. Let's see what we got here. I'm trying to get trying to scroll down here. Okay, here we go. I caught up. Sorry, I scrolled down. Talk some real facts. This guy pretending he isn't an ape, he says, definitely a super Chad. Seller Noxing. Iran says, oh, you're here to make coin. I respect your honor. Hey, man, I want super chats. If you want to super chat my channel, that is, I'm never going to, again, not required, but always appreciated. And then Saeed says, here's how your channel blows up from this. Post your reactions to reading this post. It'll get shared on Reddit maybe, then do a live stream. That's a good suggestion. I need to, after this live stream, I need to sit down and read all these posts and read all these comments here. And then Walm says, your homework for later. Go to Superstonk. Click the DD Flare. Sort by top all time. You have now entered this rabbit hole. Share your mayo and everything will be fine. Speaking of that, I would like a bacon and tomato sandwich, but I kind of want to get corn dogs. How did you learn to cellar-boxing? Mr. Gist explained earlier in the stream. I know you're just tuning in probably, but yeah, I mean, I was just playing with penny stocks, looking at level 2 quotes, trying to figure out why things were stuck. And that's how I found cellar-boxing. Seth Carpenter. Thanks for taking the time out of your weekend to add some wrinkles to our 8 brains. We love a follow-up after your research while we're here. Oh, Seth, hey, super chat, greatly appreciated. Greatly, super duper appreciated. I'm actually going to celebrate your super chat and all of the previous super chats. That is a celebratory sound of the super chat. My didgeridoo. Okay. Andrew says, there's a massive movement right now concerning the stock. And then, let's see. Andy says, since I lurk on Superstonk and can't post, can you explain to the apes how retail cannot trade a stock at a trip or quad price point over $1? Let me read that again. Since I lurk on Superstonk and can't post, can you explain to apes how retail cannot trade a stock at a trip or quad price point over $1? Connor says, I love this guy, Connor. Mad props. Thanks for tuning in. And then I got P-Pass. I took a P-Pass earlier when I went to the restroom. I took my hall pass. But P-Paz, this man is beautiful. Thank you for the wrinkles, Box Daddy. Whoa. Okay. Andy says, and now seeing a stock trading at, say, Andy says, again, something that happens a bunch in OTC, but not on big boards. So, yeah, I mean, if this has happened on the big boards, this is really strange stuff. Andrew says, I don't think this guy understands exactly why we're all here. I understand from a metrics perspective because I had that video from 9/12 of 2011 blew up in my YouTube analytics. So I understand that's what prompted this. But I've got to read more into the backstory of this because this is interesting. Malu says, bro, if you follow Superstonk, Reddit, and read the DD and do some streams on the DD, your channel will explode. I've got to make my, and again, I do my due diligence when it comes to penny stocks, but I'm going to apply those lessons learned and try to, and again, everything's an opportunity, and that's the way I look at it with business. I mean, everything's an opportunity. If you see something, I don't want to call it I don't know if abnormality would be the correct term. If you see an anomaly, anomaly, it's like, okay, well, what prompted that? And that anomaly for me today was a video that was from 2011 just coming out of the grave. So, what prompted that? So, yeah, I mean, this is Hologram says, this guy is our king. Appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Skedaddle. LOL, and everyone thought we got Schweitstein. And he says, trying to guide him in comments in real time while he is 20 minutes behind reading. This dude rocks for trying and dealing with us. Hologram says, true smooth brain. Captain, where is... I have no idea, man. I don't talk about individual stock. Okay, so Hologram says, aye, aye, Captain. Captain Stonk. That's my new word, is a stonk. I'd never heard the word stonk until, you know what another cool word is wonky. Have you ever heard the word wonky? I like the word stonk. That is creative genius behind it. That's a cool word. It's not a dictionary type word. Ooh, I see a super chat coming in. I'm going to have to buy me a lot of corn dogs for lunch if these super chats keep coming in. Coin the Haven. I heard that Cellar-Boxing requires a stock to be shorted to sub-dollar prices. Is that true? That one guy, speaking of mayo, I want a sandwich. Malu, bong loads? Peepaws, yes. Andy Bell, that would be one heck of a bong rip. Rusty, yo, anyone post this yet in the sub? Rusty, that name sounds familiar. Did you post a drone video of Epstein's Island? Hologram, I guess they are trading the shares at 0001 to 0002 cents in dark pools and then trading at 5K on their balance sheets to get the difference, says Hologram. Gravok, have you seen the movie The Big Short? Do you remember the scene where they found the mother of all housing plays laying in the lobby of J.P. Morgan Chase and go on to make hundreds of millions of dollars? They don't understand how seeing... And then Gravok says, Lars, well, that's you right now. I need to watch that show. I watched The Big Short movie many years ago, but it's been a while. I'm gonna watch that tonight. The Big Short. This is cool. Malu Zauer says, here's why this blew up your channel. We have been slowly reverse engineering Cellar-Boxing strategies they have been employing for about 9 months. Okay, and then we got Coin the Haven. I spoke with someone about Cellar-Boxing. Oh, thanks for the super chat, by the way. Okay, so I spoke with someone about Cellar-Boxing, and they said it requires the stock to have been shorted to sub-dollar prices for it to work. Is that true? Again, the Cellar-Boxing stuff I've seen, the Cellar-Boxing stuff I've experienced was over-the-counter bulletin board. So, obviously, the pink sheets, being the sketchiest of the sketchy, those were all well below dollar price per share. The ones I was looking at least. Most of them were triple zeros. Most of them are triple zeros price per share. Azauer says a post was made last night finding a post in 2004 describing all of the tactics in Cellar-Boxing. And it got us emotional. And your video is helpful in understanding it. Deeply appreciated. Let's see, I got to scroll back up here. Zauer says it's emotional to us because it's confirmation that we were right. Knight who says, nice, try shorts. You don't have to read every super chat, bro. Just answer the questions to us as eloquently as possible. I may have to pour a scotch in water for that. Team Arizona. And then skedaddle. Wonky is a nice word indeed. Hologram says Captain Wonkastonk. Captain Wonkastonk reporting for duty. Nisby says True Ape. Knight says, and see, talking about a particular stock. And Hologram says, rip that bong, bro. And then Knight says, lose the bong. This is a didgeridoo. And then and then Hologram says, Andyville, ha ha. What is happening here? Team says, Hologram is misinformed or a misinformer. However you want to look at it. Yeah, Andy summed it up. Yeah, I noticed a lot of weirdness in the OTC, and I posted that video, in 2011. Zyler says, keep in mind, we are fighting Citadel. Are you talking about a market maker, market maker? In the cellar-boxing scenario. And they are employing people to talk bad about the stock, so there will be people here to bash you. And again, my video is totally pertaining to, to penny stocks. And I don't have a bone in this game. I don't have a dog in this fight. I mean, these are not stocks that, again, I'm a penny stock guy. I'm not a big board guy. This is a big board stock that y'all are talking about. Malu says, is this deep fake Kenny? Who is deep fake Kenny? And then we got Gravok says, long story here, hedge fund shorted, talking about the stock nearly to death, stars aligned, and now it's coming back to life. So basically he's implying that they're likely short. And then Andy says, once he is caught up on what's going on, so he can relate to OTC that isn't hidden and doesn't seem to ever have been to what is going on with the big boards. Yeah, a lot of the stuff that's the thing about the OTC, the over-the-counter bulletin board, the OTC markets, the penny stocks, a lot of that is just easy to dig through and decipher. And this is really, y'all have piqued my interest. I'm going to have to read this post on the Reddit. Let's see. Until he had the time to get caught up, though, he can't do that. And then Doom says, if you want to know why this topic is blowing up again, you need to catch up reading. I've got to read that, man. I'm going to get me some corn dogs. I'm going to sit down with my mustard and my ketchup and my corn dog and my phone. And I'm going to read this. I think what I need to do, obviously, I guess I know I'm ill prepared for this live stream. So I need to brush up on that Reddit post. Comment, post your links down below within this video's comment area, and I'm going to try to really brush up. And then I think what I want to do is do I think I'm going to go get some rum. So let's see, rum or scotch. I'm a captain, so I'm going to drink some rum, get me some rum, and do a little bit of research, and then do a follow-up live show. How about I do a follow-up live show later today? How about I do that? How about I go ahead and get that follow-up live show on the calendar here? And the Knight says, this is not relevant to GME the way you think it is. And again, I don't talk about specific stocks or anything. I was just reading that comment. Coin the Haven says, do you think this strategy works on the big board stocks? Honestly, my thoughts surrounding Cellar-Boxing, it was more out of, I'm frustrated. I was kind of new to the over-the-counter bulletin board at one point, and I'm like, man, I accumulate some of these. I think they're going to be diamonds in the rough, and they never go anywhere because they're cellar-boxed. And, they just get stuck in that basement. And again, like the sewer, you got all that grime, you got all that stuff on the sewer's walls. You're like a rat trying to crawl out of there. You just can't because it's slippery, it's slimy, it's stinky, it's wet. So, yeah, I mean, this is really interesting. Okay, so what I'm going to do is this, guys. I have obviously, whether I'm Nostradamus or not, I have obviously stumbled upon something that is heavily searched currently. And without a doubt, it tracks back to my video from 2011 that's entitled, "What Does Cellar-Boxed Mean? Stock Market Terminology." So what I've got to do is go out and read these Reddits and figure out Andy says, you will need a day or 3 to get caught up with everything to follow up. It's worth taking the time to get it right instead of rushing to do a follow-up. That's good advice. Don't rush into any decisions in life. That is good advice. Knight who says, nice try, Shorts. 100% not a shill. He said his video was about penny stocks, not quite the same for us. Team Arizona says, just a hint about they are long, never a short play. And then Ryan says there's a lot more than just this recent post. There's a bunch of older DD due diligence that's important to the story. And Andy says, we need an ape with the backup DD. Link it to this man. Yeah, link me whatever, man. And again, anything that's public knowledge. I don't want any sort of links that stuff that people shouldn't be seeing. And then we've got Hologram said, I think this guy is real, just getting swarmed by apes. Andy says, so he has his DD consolidated to go with his rum and corn dogs. My rum and corn dogs, you're right. Hey, you just got to do it. You got to do it right, man. And then, plus he's awesome. Aye, Captain. Yes, sir. Lyle, we found your video by Googling Cellar-Boxing and we figured it out. They tried to Cellar-Box and it didn't work. I understand not wanting to get into the specifics of individual stocks, but this is big. No, I agree it's big. And again, like I said, I do not have a dog in the game. So, and again, this is all for entertainment purposes only. Should never be considered a recommendation to buy or sell a security. But I think in this situation, since y'all have enlightened me, everybody's taken the time and provided me with the privilege of sharing a video that I posted in 2011. It's prompted me to want to learn more and to host some more follow-up streams. So, what I'd really like to do, what I think would be really cool, is if we could do, anybody out there that has Skype, if you have Skype and you'd like to be, face on camera, I'm a YouTuber, so I've got my YouTube studio. I could patch people in on the Skype live face on video, and we could have a few people and just kind of go back and forth about this. I think that would be a really cool stream. And then Gravak says, we have basically an encyclopedia of knowledge. It took me 3 weeks to catch up on all the due diligence posts. This has been going on for almost a year now. And then team says, Hologram makes me think of Chacumba. And then Gravik says, Library of DD. And then that one guy says, someone spooked this guy. Now I'm just like blown away, man. I'm like, dude, this is... When I looked at my analytics and that video from 2011 was getting, fresh life breathed into it, that, again, I'm here for the super chats. I'm here for, for the entertainment. And again, I've always found the penny stocks to be entertaining. So this is fascinating. This is a fascinating research project. And let's see. London says, we can't delete the link because YouTube will delete it as spam. He should open up different tab and look it up while you can still get. And then he has social media links down below the video. Okay. So it sounds like there's people interested in tuning in to Skype. So here's your homework. So my homework is to go eat some corn dogs and mix up a, rum and Coke. Good little beverage for Captain. Mix that up. And what I want y'all to do, if you want to, again, completely optional, but if you'd like to be considered, and there's only a certain number of people I can probably get, But if you'd like to be considered as a, as a face on video person for Skype, coming in with Skype, you'd have to download Skype to your phone or your computer. But message me. The best way to get me is facebook.com/IRIXGuy. Shoot me a message, and if I've got room in the upcoming live show, I'll try to toss you a Skype link, and maybe we can get some people on here and just make this really exciting. So I'm interested. Hoagie says, Skype patching people into your stream will be a bad idea. Too many bad actors in this conversation. Yeah, so this sounds, I don't even want to close this stream right now because there's so many people in here. This is really great, and I've gotten these super chats, and, this is great. But what I'm going to have to do is, JKO Doc says, do a live DD reaction stream. Just read the DD and comment on it. So they're saying, do your due diligence and post some feedback. So what I want to do is take this time, eat my corn dogs, or I may eat a bacon and tomato sandwich. I may go with a bacon and tomato sandwich. I think I'm going to go with that. So I'm going to do that, and then get back with everyone. My Mac says, I'm sure many people watching this would like to know under what circumstances does Cellar-Boxing not work for a market maker? Am I right in saying that not selling is the only way to beat it? Well, the thing is, and again, my comments are in regards to penny stocks. When you're dealing with market makers are on both sides of the fence, the ask and the bid. So in this situation of Cellar-Boxing, obviously that's where they're not letting that bid rise. That bid is suppressed. You're stuck in the cellar, man. You're like that sewer rat trying to crawl out, and you just can't because the sewer is so slimy and grimy and But yeah, Andy says, agreed with Hoagie. Just do the due diligence and host another show. No guest. Okay. And then Team Arizona says, Hologram is basically a bad guy that wants bad things for people, but it's sad. But, hey, the world is full of all types. And Gravik says, we got to get a big wrinkle brain to be on Skype live stream. And then Ryan says, you can contact the mods at Superstonk and ask who you should have on the stream. Well, Ryan, if the Superstonkers, if they want to send me a message, facebook.com/IRIXGuy. That'd be awesome. Because I'm going to have to go eat some corn dogs. So Hoagie says, the only guest I could see being worth talking to would be Cryand and Adabit. And then Hologram says, Team Arizona, why the hate? Gravok says, we need a verified user to Skype with him. That's something y'all have to sort out. Because I'm completely in the dark about all this. And then we've got nobody let some AMC clown on Skype, he says Malou. Doom says, I am a real Super Stonk mod. Please feel free to contact me directly. And again, feel free to contact me directly through, and what I would ask, if somebody does choose to contact me directly through facebook.com/IRIXGuy, if you don't mind linking back to like your public profile or whatever, or, maybe some sort of about us page on your website, so I know that, whomever I may choose to invite may actually be one of those top members, just so I've got that. That'd be cool. Team Arizona says, no hate. I just call it like I see it. Sorry to out you, dude. And then, let's see. Former DSCC gal, can't remember her name. DD live, read please. Yes, no guest for now, says BMW Doubles. Gravok says, feel free to leave the stream up while you catch up. I'll keep watching. Andy Bell says, that's the gal. Doom says, well, and guys, I would leave the stream up, but the reason I'm not going to is, something I've always done with this YouTube channel is that I respect, it would be easy to leave this up. And, somebody that is, infatuated with numbers, these metrics are great. And it really pains me to close this live stream down for a few hours. Again, we're going to have another one soon. I'm going to get that up. But it pains me to close it down temporarily because there's so many views here. And it really pains me. But I realize that there seems to be more to this story. Don't skip me, Captain. Skedaddle, I will never skip you, sir. So I just appreciate the quick knowledge transfer here, because y'all have come in. I posted this show because I'm like, this is searched. I mean, full disclosure here, I posted this show because it was, I'm like, okay, I'm going to put the word Cellar-Boxed out there again, since, Cellar-Boxed sat around since 2011 on YouTube and didn't get any love. I mean, maybe it had 30 or 40 video views. Who knows? I'll have to track back and look. But, since I did that, and then today, it's just like, boom, my analytics are blowing up. I needed something to wake up to today to put a big smile on my face. And this is definitely, would definitely do that. And then that bat, bro, if you were just to read the post live, you would have so many views. And speaking of that, okay, so I've got a few, and again, I'm not a lawyer. Here's what I want to know. So if y'all can help me, anybody from Superstonk, if you can send me a message, facebook.com/IRIXGuy, send me a message. If there's do you have any sort of issues with someone, sharing screenshots and or, a live view from your page. So if I do want to read some of these comments on air, I want to make sure that that I have permission to share that imagery. So, I'm very cautious with this YouTube thing about what I do. So it's, this is, CJ says someone sent him the explosive DD from yesterday. Y'all send it all to me. Anything that's public knowledge. I don't want anything that's not public. I mean, anything that's public knowledge, feel free to share. I'm going to go ahead and eat those corn dogs. I'm going to mix me up a rum and Coke. And we're gonna get Doom Douche says I'm sorry. Doom Douche. Doom sorry. I did not mean any disrespect. Doom Douche says so that was hey. Doom Douche says you have Superstonk's permission, talking about sharing the screen share and all of that. He says it's all public info. Okay. Just making sure. So yeah, this is awesome. And then Hoagie says, put together a huge library of DD. You can find it. Okay, awesome. Hope that helps. That definitely helps. And then we got Gravok. I know it pains you to close this. Just know you can get much more if you get knowledgeable. 600,000 subscribers to Superstonk. Oh man, active users. Just curious, have you been following? I have not. I briefly. My extent of that, admittedly, was hearing in the news. I mean, the mainstream media, probably, what was that, a few months ago when everything went down, they were talking about Robinhood and all that. That was my extent of that. I don't closely follow the big board stocks at all. I may have a yeah. And then CJ says, this channel about to blow up. I hope so, man. But I'm going to have to eat those corn dogs, and I owe y'all a follow-up. I've got to do my due diligence. And hopefully here in a few hours. So maybe let's shoot for, I'm just going to have to see how long this takes. Maybe let's shoot for a follow-up. So in the meantime, y'all go ahead and share. What I'm going to do is on my channel, so you go to youtube.com/IRIXGuy. I'm going to go ahead and set that upcoming live stream. So it'll be a reminder. You can click and you can say remind me or whatever. And that's also a shareable link. So what I want to do right now is go ahead and conclude this live stream in a few minutes. Go ahead and get that live stream scheduled so that you and your teams and everybody can go ahead and start to share that live stream in preparation for this evening's live stream. So I'm looking at, it's probably going to take me an hour or so to do a high-level DD, high-level due diligence session. Oh, Marcus. Whoa, Marcus. Yes. Okay, so, yeah. So what I got to do is just look at that and just Doom Duche, I got it correct that time. Irix guy, I'm going to send you a message via way of YouTube with all the important info and links. None of the mods use Facebook. Oh, very cool. That's awesome. Sub, thanks for the subscription. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to eat those corn dogs. I'm going to mix up my rum and Coke, and I'm going to, I don't think an hour is enough. I think to do a decent, high-level due diligence dive, I need at least a couple hours. And keep in mind, I've got to eat corn dogs, and then also I need to take a shower. I need to take a shower because I need to put a suit and tie on. Look kind of snooty. Do that. Look good for the upcoming live show. And I may even save a corn dog for the live show, but I will definitely save a rum and Coke. I will definitely have that. Actually, I think I'm going to break out the Ronza Kappa. I've got my Ronza Kappa I've got a Ronza Kappa that is a really good rum. I haven't tried yet. But I also have a Gosling's Family Reserve that I brought back from Bermuda. But I'm saving that Gosling's Family Reserve rum for when my channel hits 100 million video views. And I'm not there yet. I think I'm close to, around 60 million video views? But I can't open that bottle until I hit 100. So in all sincerity, I may just be drinking some cruising from St. Croix. I mean, nothing wrong with that. It's an acceptable rum. The dark, it's a good rum. So anyway, here we go. And we're going to regroup. So again, just to recap, go to youtube.com/IrixGuy. I'm going to post that link to the upcoming live show. It'll have a countdown timer. That will be the live show link. So when I go live this evening with that live show, that's it. And the link will work. So if you share it, people in different time zones, they'll have the link. It'll have the reminder. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Ring that bell icon when you do, and that'll notify you when I post another video. And likewise, when you click that link for the upcoming live stream that I'm going to host in a few hours, and I'll have that up. I'm going to plan to post that within about 15 minutes. So refresh my main page in about 15 minutes, and when that appears, start sharing that. Share it on your forum. Share it with people you know. Share it with the world. I don't care. I want as many viewers as possible. And Marcus says, save your corn dog money. Not financial advice. But really, I am going to have to temporarily conclude this live stream. We're 2 hours and 23 minutes in, but I will have that link up soon. I look forward to seeing y'all there. Thanks so much for the awesome conversation, the unexpectedly awesome conversation. I know I've got some due diligence, some DD to read up on before we reconvene. I'm excited for that conversation. I'm excited for my corn dogs. I'm excited for my rum and Coke, and I'm excited for my didgeridoo once y'all tune in then and all these super chats start flowing in during that next live stream. Thanks a lot, and y'all have a good day, and I will be posting that soon. So again, youtube.com/IrixGuy. I will have the link. I'm going to come up with some sort of catchy title, and of course that title will contain the word Cellar-Boxed. So you'll see it. You'll see it here shortly, and again, I couldn't be happier, and I've got to go get my corn dogs, and that is great. See y'all shortly. Thanks again, everyone.